What's up, everyone? Welcome to RotoWire's Underdog Fantasy Pick'em Show. If you're not an Underdog member, you should join using promo code RWPicks. Promo code RWPicks. We're here to give you some winning Pick'ems choices. Ryan, how have the Pick'ems gone? How did you do last week?
Oh, we did really well last week. I think Adam and I went 7 for 8, I believe. So try to build on that this week. Yeah, we have our RotoWire Picks app up on the screen right now. Stefon Diggs, first player I like this week. You know, this will show you sort of, it incorporates our projections and then shows you, the different sites that you can play on and the numbers for each site. We have this narrowed down to Underdog, so it's just showing Underdog right now. But as far as Diggs goes, the Texans lost Nico Collins, their best receiver, target monster. Joe Mixon's still doubtful. So they're still going to be throwing it quite a bit in this spot, and they should have plenty of the ball with Drake Maye making his debut on the other side. The number for Diggs receiving yards is 64.5. Our projection, you see down there, we have RotoWire projection. I think ours is 69 or something like that. So quite a bit higher. So like the higher on Diggs number there. Also 5.5 catches, like higher on that too, if you'd rather go there. So Diggs for the first one. Second one, I'm going to go with first lower of the year. I really don't like taking lowers because it's tough to root against that. At least I don't like it, but we're going to do it with Alvin Kamara. 67.5 rushing yards against Tampa Bay. Now, I like to fade running backs against Tampa Bay normally. They have one of the best rush defenses in the league, led by Vita Vea. Maybe the best run stopper in the league. And then on top of that, we have Spencer Rattler making his debut for the Saints. And, I think they're going to struggle to move the ball, probably get behind, which is going to be tough for, the running script. Yeah, I see Kamara lower than 67.5, I believe. Jack, why don't you give us a couple?
Well, I just want to say, first, Stefon Diggs, I completely agree. On the Pick'em app, you can see some news blurbs. You see that Diggs is poised to be the number one receiver, and you can look at other things. Like you can see what we think about fantasy score. Like we have a projection for 15.48 for fantasy score versus Pick'ems versus other sites. So it's a really great tool to comb through these things. And then another great shout on Alvin Kamara, Ryan. I think with Rattler, that's a big systemic risk to the Saints offense. I actually like a player from the other side of that game. I think it's going to be a good spot for Tampa Bay. And I think Chris Godwin has underperformed his expectation a little bit this season. He's seen a ton of utilization and he's seen a lot of routes. So I like higher than 1 touchdown. I don't mind taking his receiving props either, going higher. I think it's around 55 receiving yards as well. He's out there. He's running a lot of routes. Mike Evans has been scoring all the touchdowns, but we know that Godwin is a player who can score some touchdowns, and it's going to be a great spot for Tampa Bay, Ryan. I'm somewhat concerned that they might get to run the ball a lot, but I don't think they want to run the ball too much. They have this backfield controversy with Rashad White and Bucky Irving. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for them to score touchdowns with the Saints being helmed by Spencer Rattler. So with the Saints struggle, there should be plenty of touchdowns for Tampa Bay. I like to take Chris Godwin for a slight bounce back. And then another one I like, Ryan, I am going to choose a lower on this one as well. I don't really like choosing lowers as much, but Drake Maye is making his first start for the New England Patriots. The Patriots have one of the worst offensive lines. That's all we're talking about in Western Massachusetts. And they're going up against one of the best pass rushing defensive lines in the Houston Texans. The Patriots don't really run a lot of plays, so I like lower than 158.5 passing yards. I also like higher than 0.5 INTs. I think that the Houston defensive line is going to create a lot of pressures. Drake Maye is going to be making his first start. He's going to be put in a lot of pressure situations. I think he's going to make a lot of mistakes. It's going to be tough for him to have a good game. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, Jack, I like both those. Well said. Couple bonus ones. Plus money touchdown for Tony Pollard in the spot away to the Colts. A couple reasons I like this one. First being Anthony Richardson back starting. Just hasn't been able to sustain drives. We saw the first 2 weeks, the Texans rushed for 210 yards, I believe, on the Colts. And then the next week, Green Bay went for 260. Just crazy numbers. The Colts are without their top defensive lineman in DeForest Buckner. So I like the Pollard to go higher than his yards prop, but also to score a touchdown at plus money. And then the other one I'll give is Josh Jacobs, higher than 67.5 rushing yards against the Cardinals. The Cardinals have given up over 100 on the ground every game this season. That's what Matt LaFleur wants to do. Jacobs, when healthy, he went over that. He went higher than that number last week, higher than the week before. So yeah, good spot for Jacobs.
I like that call a lot, Ryan. I think the Packers want to establish the run if they can. That's certainly been Matt LaFleur's tendency the last few seasons. I'm going to go out on a limb on the other side of that game, Ryan. It's a player who I really like, who has somewhat underperformed his expectation this season, but I think Trey McBride is a good choice to go higher than 5.5 receptions. We routinely see Trey McBride be one of the leaders in the Arizona offense in terms of target share. And, he's up there with Marvin Harrison in terms of the amount of targets we receive. He's out there running a lot of routes. He's been injured earlier in the season. He had a concussion that forced him to miss a game, and he played through. He played almost the entire game with a ribs injury last week. So I think he's had a full week of practice in. I think he'll be ready to go. I think there could be some points in this game, Ryan. I think Arizona has a good offense, and I think the Packers also have a good offense. And I like Kyler Murray to use Trey McBride as a bit of a safety blanket in the middle of the field.
Oh, me too. Especially like McBride this week. Expect Jair Alexander to lock up Marvin Harrison. So McBride should be Murray's favorite target.
Well, there we have it. Thanks for joining, everyone. And again, if you're not a member on Underdog, please join using promo code RWPicks. You can deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash.